Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is huge. After the projects of the last few days, which have been tiny, particularly the inchy box the other day, I thought I'd go the complete extreme and go with a huge box. And it is a whopper. Unties at the top. I'm not going to untie it because I'd never get the bow tied again. Unties there, opens out, and you can see what happens. And it uses a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, which is 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres. I'm going to show you how to make it. So, grabbing my Simply Scored scoring tool and a piece of 12 by 12. I've taken strawberry slush this time around. Oh, it's got a little bit creased. That's fine, it'll hide. So 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres. I hope you're going to be able to see the measurements up there. Don't worry if you can't, everything's on my blog. Link in the description bar. Click it and then it will take you to, there's a link there that will take you to this specific project. So obviously it's square, doesn't matter which side we're going to go around, but you score it at 1 3/4, you score it at 4 inches. I'm doing one and reading the other. 4 inches, 5 3/4 of an inch, 9 3/4 of an inch, and 11.5 inches. I'm scoring this one and reading you that one. Okay, and that in metric: 10, 14.5, 24.5, and 29. We need to come back in and put a part score in, which is this score line here, which doesn't actually have an end point. So I would suggest sort of maybe, putting your hands in at maybe around the 8-inch mark across here, which is going to be 20 centimetres. I will give you, can I give you the metrics? I'll do that in a second. And you part score down at 4 7/8 of an inch. So 4 7/8 of an inch, just roughly down to about the 8-inch-ish mark. And again at 10 5/8 of an inch, which is there. And that's your part score line. So in metric: 10, 14.5, 24.5, and 29. Those are your full scores. And then your part score: 12.2, 26.7. And then turn it around so you've got this part going to the right, because we're going to put score lines here. 1 3/4 of an inch, which is 4.5 centimetres, 10 inches, and 10 1/8 of an inch, which is 25 and 25.3 centimetres. You could probably get away with 25.5 centimetres if you wanted. So come along and fold your score lines, but only the full ones at this point in time. Don't worry about the part scores. We'll come to those in a minute because they've got to fold in the opposite direction. And the reason there's this tiny little 1/8 of an inch score line is actually so that you get a neat fold just there. Oh, I think I might have autofocus on still. Let's just change that. There we go. Sorry, autofocus on from the previous video. So keep folding those, and like I said, ignore the part score lines for a minute. Isn't this paper beautiful? Isn't the colour beautiful? Strawberry slash. It's so spring-like and summery. Love it. Okay. So we're going to cut before we do these folded lines. So this section down here, so where you've got your double score line, that's the top of the box. This is the bottom. We need to remove that part, this little skinny mini over here. And then cut up these score lines. And strawberry slash is one of the in colours, and I know there's lots of my team have asked me to explain in colours to you, or to them. In colours come in for 2 years and then retire, and there is an overlap of 2 years. So 2013 to 2015 overlaps with 2014 to 2016. So there will be new in colours this summer. So this is one of those that's leaving. Sorry. Okay, so we now know that this part here is going to match the back, but we want to fold this back part over. So you need to hang on to this long rectangle here that's on what's called the loose edge here, because this is where you're going to put your adhesive. So that's your loose edge. Hang on to that, get rid of all of those parts. And down to this second score line, we don't need that ridge. So get rid of all of it. If you're brave with scissors like me, go for it. If not, you could bring in your stamping trimmer to do it. But, you know, me, scissors, kind of brave. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Now we can fold these part scores. So where we folded out, those are known as mounting folds. These ones need to fold in as valley folds. And obviously there is no end point. It's just to help it look beautifully neat. So just, you know, push them in with your fingers. And that's kind of enough. So I need to put my DSP on now before I seal it down, because it just makes life easier. And it's going to go onto this panel, not this part, because it will all fold over like that. So this is the front, and I've got the Abloom DSP stack, which is where this one's come from. And the colours of it, some of the pages have got vanilla as the background, some of them have got whisper white, which is this one. And then you've got the darker pinks here, and then the lighter pinks and lighter greens. So there's lots of different colours. This measures 3 3/4 by 6.5, which is 9.5 by 16.5 centimetres, which is basically the full length with a bit trimmed off. And there's my snail. And it's going to be stuck down towards the bottom, down here. So you're looking for 3 edges that, you know, where the gap, the border, there we go, reinsert brain, where the border is the same around there, because obviously there will be an overlap. And now we can start putting the box together. And I'm kind of cluttering myself up here a bit. It's because of the size of the box. So sticky strip or fuse or Tombow along this tab scored line part here. And then depending on how much stuff you've got going inside as to how much adhesive you're going to put on. I'm going to assume that there's not very much. So I'm just going to put a bit there. But if you did have quite a lot going in there, stick sticky strip on everything. You could fit loads in here. You could, boxes of chocolates. Obviously, you know, decanting the contents out of the original, not as attractive as your handmade box, and put your chocolates in. Treats, you could put, oh, I don't know, maybe clothes for a baby shower or something. Bibs and booties and stuff, a scarf, oh, loads. My boxes are like TARDISes, you can fit loads in. So while I was chattering, fold the sides in and the back, and then this is the front. And I'm sorry, it's so tall, it's going to be practically in your faces if I lift it up. So I'm just trying not to, you know, basically be like a 3D camera and get it right in your faces. So when you pinch in the sides, you can see it just helps to pull it in nicely by putting those score lines in first. I have gotten to round the corners. It's because my box had covered it up. So I've my Project Life corner rounder. Just to round those parts off. And now to put the holes in, I've got my 1/8 of an inch handheld punch, and you can go through all 3 layers at the same time. And where you put them is entirely up to you. So I'm pushing it in as far as it will go. Oh, look at that. I went too far. Oh no, I will fix that. I'll do something to make that look pretty, but what can I do to make that pretty? I could put a handle in. Let's fix this right here, right now, while I've mussed it up. Oh, try not to get my head in the camera. Let's get another punch. How to fix problems on the go. So this is the biggest handheld punch. I want to say this is 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just punching over those little crease marks I've made. Untangling myself. And let's get some, I can get the matching ribbon. There we go. What have I got here? I have got the very vanilla. Come from the inside out. Live bloopers. And then live fixing. Because no project has an accident or a mistake. It has a happy turn of events that creates something else. There we go. You'd never know. Right, these parts here, this was actually where I intended to put the ribbon. So, let's get that off at an angle. These are much smaller holes. So, come in through the front. I'd grab your stylus to help push the ribbon through. Hey, I've still got stamping to do yet. There's still plenty of room for error left. And through there as well. So this is what's going to tie your box closed. Oh, I'm going to try and do this bow. Right over left, left over right. I think that's what I've learnt recently. Oh, that was a knot. I've tied a bow instead of a knot instead of a bow. Oh my goodness. It's because the coffee's out of reach. Although actually that's quite an attractive bow. Okay, let's just finish this off. Okie dokie. So now we've handled a little bit of stamping. So I've got my very vanilla because that's the colour in the background. I've got one of my Celebration stamp sets. I love these. I love that Celebration provides us with stamp sets and papers for free and blendabilities. And that it's so long this year, it means that plenty of time to get them all. So, strawberry slush ink, and it's this one here. There's always something to be grateful for. Punch that out with the note tag punch, which carried over from the seasonal catalogue. And I'm very happy about that. And I hope it makes a permanent, it sticks around permanently. And then I've got the whole set of pearls here because on my original, I created this sort of shape. So the biggest one in the middle at the top, medium either side. At this point in time I haven't determined what colour glimmer paper I'm going to put as the background. So, and then the smallest either side of that. I'm going to take a little scattering of the biggest ones in the top here. And then, you see, when I did this one, it was instinctive to put dazzling diamonds on, but actually I don't know if I want the champagne or the dazzling diamonds. Oh, champagne it is. Definitely champagne is the background. Whoops. The background one for there. So, another one of those punched out, offset layering. So that means that when you offset layer, you put your dimensionals on the bit you want to cover. Pop that on. Oh, definitely. Isn't that glamorous? A couple of dimensionals onto there. And onto the bag. How pretty. I actually really quite like it with the handle. That's kind of cute. Very sweet. Anyway, I hope you like it. They're so big I can't even get them on camera. I hope I can photograph these okay. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.